crafty friends, it's Angie with Tink's Treasures, and I'm back today and I have some happy mail to open. So I had played with the Gild Machine a week or two ago and really loved the impression dies. They, in my opinion, did the best job as far as using the Gild Machine. And so I went ahead and looked on eBay and found another set of Anna's. So I went ahead and ordered that, and that just came in. So let's see what we have. Oh, this person sent me some freebies. So it looks like a couple sheets of cardstock. And then some Kingston Crafts alphabet letters. So we can hold on to that. That was nice of them to send. And this, oh look, there's some more alphabet. So some pink and some, well, purplish and blue. And to be honest, I didn't realize this was going to be brand new. So we have like a large medallion, a rose, another rose. I'm not quite sure. Let's open it up. A frame, a butterfly, another flower set with some doves, and then the idea sheet. So this is the Fresh Air impression dies. Now I know this was out a while ago. This says 21 on it. I don't feel like it's that old, but nevertheless, these are what I liked, and so I want to go ahead and make some cards with them today, see how they foil, and see what cards I can come up with. And then also, about the same time, I had ordered this from Anna, so this set came in. This is the vintage clock dies. Now, it doesn't say 3D on here, so I'm going to go ahead and foil it and see what happens. I'm not sure if I've seen it foiled yet or not. So this may be a test. So let me get out my Gild. Okay, I think I have everything up and running. I'm going to go ahead and start with this medallion. And I'm going to use it in the medium setting, 4 minutes. And then just for fun, let's try some black cardstock. Okay, I'm back. This is about to go off. So I'm going to pull it out, run it through my Empress twice. Okay, so let's see if I did this right. And I think that's a wow. There is like maybe a little bit of distressing right here, but I love the fact that it cuts at the same time. And it looks like it didn't quite cut all the way through, so. And you can see how it foiled right there on the edge too. So that looks really good. And I really love the silver against the black. And then I'm gonna go ahead and try and reverse foil this later. So I'm gonna put this aside. And then let's try this rose. Okay, just give me a minute. I need to figure out where I went ahead and put my foil. Okay, so I had left my foil in the box. So let's see what we have here. I want to try this red. And it's not even open yet. And if anybody is interested, I got my foil on Amazon. I got like, I don't know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 rolls for like $10. And I'm very happy with it. I had this little case anyway, so I'm just going to store it in that. And I did hear someone else say that it gets hotter down at the bottom, so I'm going to try that as well. And then I'm going to use my leftover piece of my black here. And let that count down. So I'll be right back. Okay, so let's look. It cut out better. Ooh, look at that. Almost cut all the way through. I'll have to figure out if it needs a shim in there to get it to cut all the way. But for coverage, that is so much better. There's only a tiny, tiny bit that maybe didn't foil right there at the little tiny tips of that rose. But that looks amazing. So let's put that aside. And then I have this to be able to reverse foil. And look at that. I mean, you could just pop that right out. Okay, so what I thought I would try this time is that I have these smaller dies, the impression dies, that I wonder if how many I can get on here at once. And if they were going to cut out like they should, then I should be able to put one piece of foil on here, or I could use whatever foil I want. I can layer those on, and then I could probably just use one piece of paper. So let's try that. And just because it is time consuming is the reason why I want to try this. I was thinking of using my metal shim to put in there. Let's see how that works. And we'll be right back. Okay, so let's give it a try. It has the metal shim in it. Okay, so let's take a look. And if it turns out the metal shim is too much, I do have a piece of cardstock already cut from last time. And you can see I had sent it through and it kind of cut through. But let's take a look. It's hot, but not horrible. Okay, so the rows cut out perfectly this time. There's still just a teeny bit of distressing right here on the tippy tops of those things, those leaves and the rows. Let's see. That cut out almost perfectly. Oh wow, you guys, look at that. I love that you have a perfect negative to be able to do reverse foiling. And that looks so good. So if you want, start with a piece of either chipboard or heavy cardstock as a shim to kind of play with it and see what is going to work as pressure with your setup. But that looks really good. And that cut out perfectly. And then again, just a little ever so bit of distressing up there. And I know Anna sent out this revised instruction booklet. I got it, I don't know, I want to say maybe the same day or within a few days of the Gild Machine. And so she has some tips on here too that you can use to work on. It talks about underfoiling or light transfer. Place the plate at the bottom of the heat platform. Increase time or temperature. Or it talks about a cardstock shim. Obviously I used the metal one, and it says to run it through twice. So you can always try that. Again, here's that rose. So I was able to do 4 at once. Oops, let's get this one. And again, just ever so much, not right here. So you'd have to go in and fussy cut that out. But yeah, that piece needs cut. Oh, the joy of dogs. Okay, so I'm back. I had to take care of a dog situation. Now, part of this is really good, and then part is slightly distressed right there. And I would imagine that is just how, you know, how it's cutting because of the pressure. If the heating element inside is, you know, I don't know what it looks like on the inside. I assume there's some type of heating element that's in there. So if it doesn't have room to give, or there's more if there's more in here of the heating element for it to press against, that's why it's giving an uneven surface, just because of how it is filled inside there, if that makes sense. So that's that design. And then I have this frame, and it has some ribbon at the bottom. So we're going to try that. And this being bigger, we'll put it down here. And I could probably get two more up here. I have 2 butterflies that came in this set. And then just for the fun of it, I'm gonna increase the time and then find the foil. Let's see, there's a few I haven't tried yet. There's this rose gold. So let's try that on the butterflies. And then how about this blue? And then just for experimenting, we'll go ahead and add my piece of cardstock as a shim. Okay, here we go. So that looks really good. I'll be able to use that as a negative. Still not cutting 100%. I won't be using this, but there's some over foiling right there. So to be honest, I think I liked using my metal shim better. I got better cut coverage out of that. So I'm gonna go ahead and fussy cut this one out. Cut the foil mostly. Let's take those off. And then I have 2 left. So I'm going to go ahead and put those on together. Some more flowers. So let's try this pink. Okay, and my opinion is it's not the time. So I'm going to change the time back down to 4. And then I haven't tried glitter paper yet, so I'm going to give that a try, see how that looks. Okay, for me, using the metal shim just works so much nicer. Use your own discretion if you choose to do that. But it cuts a lot better for me. Okay, here we go. Oh, and that's so pretty. You've got that gold foil or the red pink foil on that glitter. There is some over foiling on this, but at the moment it's just scrap. So maybe a little distressing around the little bird's head there. But overall pretty good. I don't know if we're supposed to get 100%, if that's actually expected. But it's good. I'm happy with it. Okay, so let me pull some papers together and let's make some cards. Let's make a card with some of these embellishments. So what I plan on doing is that I have this A7 card already, but I want to make this an easel card. So I'm going to cut this down. And then this is one of Anna's collections from a while back. And I was just going to go through my scraps, and I already noticed how nice this would look with some of the black that I already did. Now I already know that this is going to be too short. And if anybody likes to store their scraps with their paper, I went ahead and made a video to make a little pocket in the back of your paper pad. So I'll include a link for that. And that just really keeps storing your scraps very handy. So I need to cut this down, and as you can see that it is going to be too short. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a piece and add on, and then I'm going to trim it to fit. And then I'll just put my scraps back in my little pocket. So this is my card face. And what I want to do is use this concentric frame die that I have of Anna's. So I'm going to line up my face card with my base and run those through. And if I was smart, I would have taped them together before I sent it through, but that came out good. So what I want to do next is that I'm going to cut out the frame with this silver. Okay. So we should be able to pop that up with some foam dots. And you know, I always say foam dots, and it's really squares. Okay, so I ran out of storage there for a second on my camera. So continuing on, I went ahead and grabbed my little easel die, and I'm just going to make my little easel attachment. So I'm going to run that through. And because I'm using scraps, I have this, I'm going to use this as my bottom piece. So I went ahead and merge these scraps together, and then I'm going to cut it down to fit on my base. Like, I'm not even going to cut this off because it's going to come off when I run it through with my die. See, that little piece is just going to pop right off. But it doesn't like my tape, so I'm going to run it through one more time. Before we get too far, I need to make a stopper for the inside here. So I'm going to go back to the concentric die set that I'm using. Put this back. Put this back. And this back. Now, the scrap I'm going to use is too big for that. So I'm going to go to the one right next door and use this one and just cut this out. There's some bossing in there, but that's not really what I needed. I just needed a little stopper for now. Okay, so let's decorate the front of the card. And I was wanting to use the pieces that we just made. And I'm thinking I can use this one. This one is just a little too big. This one doesn't seem to fit the style, at least for me. But I do like this one. So I think if I put it like this, and we'll go in the center. And then it didn't embellish quite so good down here. So that's where I'm going to put this piece. So let me start layering these in. And someday I will have a space big enough that I don't lose everything as soon as I put it down. Because I know I have tweezers here somewhere, but I've already buried them. So let's put that there. And then I want this piece to go here. I need to take a picture of my area so that you can feel my pain. I'm gonna put that there. And then I do have a few stickers that I wanted to add that I thought could go right in here. And then this little guy, I don't think it's a sticker though. And then we'll use this as our stopper. And I have a few other embellishments I can use in here. And I was thinking of putting a nice little bird in there. Like these colors match really well. And I don't think I'm going to dig around for any sentiments at the moment. I'm just going to leave it as in. I can always go back and add one later. This will just be for my stash. But it'll be nice to have something complete that I can just grab from. So I'm going to go ahead and put that there, and then that'll give me room for my little bird. And I believe this is a sticker. These butterflies and bird stickers are from eons ago, and they just sit in my stash. So I'm gonna go ahead and be able to go ahead use this. There. Okay, so there we have it. Nice little easel card. I've used the, oh, I have to look. Is it Fresh Air? Let me look. Yes, it's the Fresh Air. Oh my goodness. I'm going to take a picture of my desk before I'm done, just so that you see the space I have to work in. I really need to come up with something else, maybe a little pull-out thing. I mean, as it is, I've got things sitting on the floor, all over my desk, in my chair behind me. But this is the Fresh Air impression dies that I used for all of these embellishments. And then this is a concentric frame die set. Okay, so I have a few more to work on, and let me show you. So what I have so far are these nice contrasting ones with dark colors, so black and silver, black and gold, black and red. And so while those have worked out really nicely and it worked out really well for one of the cards, I started putting together this other little card and realized I need some more embellishments. So I'm going to cut these out of some rose gold and a lighter pink foil, and then I'm going to put them on, like one piece is going to be on this gold sparkle cardstock. Now this one, when it goes through, I'm not expecting it to die cut well just because of the paper on the back. I've always had horrible experience with it, but since it's just the outer shape, I should be able to fussy cut it out. And then this one is another sparkle cardstock, but this has no backing on it. And then this one is just a nice gold. And then this one is just another pink. So I've got these lined up. I'm going to run them through, make sure they're covering the actual die. And these are the Fresh Air Impression dies. So where's my lid? And I'm going to add this little shim here that it's just a piece of cardstock that I'm going to add because I know this piece is not going to want to cut out well. And I have it on the medium setting and 4 minutes. So I'm going to count that down. Oh wow, I'm impressed because this paper here with this backing on it never cuts good for me. Never, ever, ever. And look at that. I mean, I know I'm fussing with it, but trust me, this is a big deal that I usually don't get this good of a cut. So I'll go back and cut that one out. Oh, but look at the foil. The foil is great. Gosh, that's almost perfect. And same with this one. Now there's some overfoiling here, but that's okay because I'm not using that. And even these I can use for the reverse foiling. I'm going to put this aside. And look at the foil. Again, this foil is almost perfect. There's a little bit of overfoiling right there. And to be honest, I think I'd rather have overfoiling than it being, what, underfoiled? There. So it looks, whoops. That looks so much nicer. Okay, ignore this. I was working in the garden and put a blister in my hand. The foiling looks great. So now I can use these on the cards that I was working on. And I think I'm going to foil real quickly a couple sentiments. So I got these on the release day from HSN. So I'm going to do these real quick. Now these don't cut out, which is such a shame. I really, really, really love the impression dies. Those are amazing, and I hope Anna comes out with more to work with the Gild machine. That would be amazing. Okay, so let me see what I have, and I'll be right back. Okay, let me show you what I found. I just have some gold, and then I have this really pretty rainbow foil. And on the, gosh, I can't read backwards. This is going to be a thank you. And maybe another thank you. I guess I need to learn what they are better. But anyway, so I have this pretty green foiled or sparkle cardstock. And this even has like some texture to it. And then I have some smooth foiled cardstock that we're going to try. And I just went and washed my scissors. If you saw me before, I was kind of struggling. I don't know what I opened recently, but there's just a little bit of sticky on it that it was interfering with cutting this foil. So if you have a pair of scissors that you can designate just to keep for your foil, I think that would help, because you could see it just glides right through there. So I'm going to put, I can even trim this down a little bit more. I'm going to continue to add the shim, my top plate, and then start. And I'll be right back. Okay, here we go. Okay, so this is the rainbow ink. And to be honest, it overfoiled a little too much. And I got it a little too close to the edge. So I don't know if I'll be keeping this one or not. So let's put this one aside and check this one out. Okay, some more overfoiling. So I need to check that out if I'm just heating it up too much, maybe. I'm not quite sure. But anyway, the foiling part does look good. So I can probably, you know, fussy cut around this. I mean, if you had some large punches or dies that you could, you know, make a nice circle with, or a square, that would cut these out nicely and give them a nice shape. Because my fussy cutting skills aren't that great. And I do have a large circle punch, but I have a feeling it might be too large. Okay. Okay, once it's cut out, I think that looks good. The little bit of overfoiling there is now gone. You can see it was down here. So I can use this one. That's a good success. And then I don't know that I'm going to be able to use the negative on this for the reverse foiling, but maybe, because it's going to show right through here. I'll have to cut that out again. Okay, so let me assemble a couple. I have one more card that's mostly done. So I worked on this, I believe it was off camera yesterday. I'm going to do one more, but this is one of, it was the same die that I used yesterday. It's in this concentric die shape. And then when I was noticing, I don't know if somebody else can tell me this, I don't know if I've placed this in the wrong set, because when you look at the idea sheet that comes with it, like it always shows you what you get. There's no center little oval. So I don't know if this goes to another set or if that was an oops and it got included. My guess is I pulled this from another set by accident. But it fits right in there if there was a need for it. Okay, so this is my stopper. And I wanted to see how that looks so nice with that. Wow, that's really, really pretty. As well as like this pretty foil on foil. So I've got a like a rose pink on top of a rose gold. That can go up there, and then, ooh, I could do this. Because I love the paper behind it. I hate covering up the paper a lot. So maybe down here like this, I gotta fussy cut this part out, and then I need to see what other embellishments I can use with this. So I need to do that. And I'll be right back. Okay, so here's what I'm gonna do. I pulled out a few embellishments. Excuse me. Almost had a crash there. Out of some other kits. So I really I want to use this flower that we just made. I pulled out a few pieces of these gold flourishes from one of the other kits. And I'm thinking if I just go like this, okay, something like that. And then I want to put this on the inside, this on the inside, and I think this on the inside. So let me glue this down before I lose my little shape right there. But I just wanted to point out, so as much as I like this, I think this size is too big for this particular card. Just because I have the frame here, it takes up a lot of space. I don't want to cover up the pretty paper. So we're going to put that on the inside. So let me glue these down, because none of them are stickers. Okay, let's add some foam squares. And of course this little butterfly. And then I'm just going to add this on the inside, because when you open a card, you open it all the way anyway. And you know, I was saying when I did this that this cardstock had some texture to it, like the glitter, I feel like is sitting on top of the paper, but it doesn't come off. Anyway, it's not smooth is my point, and it did foil very nicely. So I know it was recommended in the beginning to use smooth cardstock, but I'm just saying this foiled really nice. You can see all the foil. There wasn't any foil missing on this. So let's put that right there. And then I wanted to pull, this is one of Anna's stickers out of one of the kits. We'll put that right there. And then this little butterfly. There you have it. So that's this one. This is another easel card, all the different foiling. So you're just gonna pick it up. You'll see, thank you so very much. And then it'll sit like this. So there you go. And this is Anna's paper from, it's an old set too. This is the garden paper set. And again, you saw me just put some of my scraps together so that I had full pieces to work with. So there you have it. I am going to wrap this up so that I can get this video edited and out so that you can see. And maybe I'll go ahead and make a few more cards with these off camera and then just display them here at the end of the video, or maybe at the beginning of the video. I'm not quite sure. But there you have it. Some more impression dies used with Anna Griffin's Gild Machine that came out near perfect. I was so happy with it. So until next time, I appreciate you hanging out with me. I hope you made it to the end. If so, could you please give it a thumbs up? I would appreciate it. It will help this channel out. It is free for you to do and priceless to me. So until next time, bye.